The return of Kelly Clarkson to the Kelly Clarkson Show on Monday created an atmosphere that was nothing short of emotional, not just for the singer but also for the crowd that she was performing for. Clarkson returned to the stage for the first time since the catastrophic death of her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, in August. She had been on break for a few weeks prior to this performance. At that same moment, Clarkson bravely managed both her own personal sadness and the strong and heartbreaking stories of others, and the moment was filled with raw emotion, tears, and bravery. Due to the fact that her presence on screen offered solace and a sense of connection at an otherwise trying time, her decision to return was welcomed with an overwhelming amount of support from both her fans and her co-workers. Nevertheless, it was not only Clarkson's personal journey that made Monday's broadcast stand out. The part that followed it was extremely moving, as it honored real-life heroes whose acts during a horrific tragedy left viewers in tears. The bus drivers and the Texas floods. A journey of honor and courage. The story that Clarkson decided to focus on was one that few people anticipated. It was about the unsung heroes who assisted in the rescue of 900 children from Camp Mystic, which was an all-girls summer camp, during the disastrous floods that happened in Texas Hill Country in July. A great number of children and counselors were left stranded as a result of the flood, which compelled the community to join together in extraordinary ways. Clarkson, who was very emotional herself, was joined by some of the bus drivers who courageously drove through the heart of the crisis to rescue the children and bring them home to their parents in a safe manner. As each of the drivers shared their experiences, the entire discourse was replete with touching moments that touched everyone's heart. Throughout the entirety of the episode, Clarkson could be seen clutching tissues and protecting her eyes from tears as she listened to the respective stories. Amanda, the bus driver, had a breakdown. There was a particular bus driver named Amanda who recounted a touching moment that brought tears to the eyes of Clarkson as well as the audience. The emotional concluding moments that occurred when the last child stepped off the bus were one of the most difficult portions of Amanda's journey, as she related in her reflections. Despite the fact that her voice was breaking, Amanda stated, "It was amazing to see all of the parents reunited with their children. The most difficult moment was when the final child got off the bus and the parents just inquired, 'Was that it?' It was the difficult part." As she talked, her voice broke, and the gravity of the situation was evident to everyone around her. The magnitude of the disaster was not the only factor that had a significant impact. The aftermath, which included the emotional toll of witnessing families reunited while still experiencing the great burden of the disaster that had afflicted a large number of people, was also influential. A moment of closure that came with such great relief, yet so much lasting sadness, seemed to echo the thoughts of everyone concerned. The inquiry, "Was that it?" seemed to echo the feelings of everyone involved. As Clarkson wiped away her tears, her countenance was a mixture of compassion and grief. It was clear that she was feeling empathy for the situation. Not only was this a tale of survival, but it also served as a poignant reminder of the delicate beauty that exists in human connection, even in the most difficult of circumstances. The resilience of Clarkson in the face of personal loss. Despite the fact that the piece about the bus drivers and the floods was really affecting, the fact that Clarkson was returning to her show made it much more heartbreaking. Clarkson, who had taken a short hiatus from her hosting duties following the untimely death of her ex-husband Brandon Blackstock, maintained her composure as she recounted this harrowing account. Clarkson and Blackstock had been married for close to 7 years and had 2 children together. River Rose, who is 11 years old, and Remington Alexander, who is 9 years old. The divorce that they went through in 2020 was publicly known, and Clarkson has never been shy about discussing the difficulties that they encountered during their separation. Blackstock, who was 48 years old at the time of his death, had been battling cancer for more than 3 years. Clarkson was in her first public appearance after his dying, and she was carrying with her the sadness of a loss that was still new. His passing was a moment that was heartbreaking for Clarkson. Despite the fact that she was experiencing her own anguish, Clarkson made the decision to concentrate on other people, so demonstrating the extraordinary bravery and resilience, concentrating on the individuals who were heroic in the face of the Texas floods. It was a moving display of grace on Clarkson's part, as she was obviously still in mourning but made the conscious decision to allow others the opportunity to be recognized and celebrated. Responses from the audience. A moment of emotional connection. Throughout the course of the episode, it became abundantly clear that Clarkson's choice to emphasize the courageous efforts of the bus drivers struck a chord with her audience on a profound level. The comment section of the show's Instagram page was swamped with words of support and appreciation for both Clarkson and the drivers. Fans expressed their admiration for both of them. A visitor expressed their gratitude by writing, "Oh my heart, thank you for highlighting and honoring such deserving people." Another commenter added, "Highlighting these people is so beautiful in the midst of such tragedy." An outpouring of admiration from people all throughout the country was directed toward Clarkson for the emotional focus that she placed on these everyday heroes. "I would like to express my gratitude to your show for providing these brave individuals with the opportunity to share their experiences." Another fan added, "Proud of the people of my home state," reflecting the feelings of a large number of individuals who appreciated the way Clarkson was using her platform to praise those who made a difference in the world when it appeared that the world was doing nothing but deteriorating. The weight of compassion and the weight of grief. Clarkson's vulnerability and focus on the genuine stories from the Texas floods presented a dramatic contrast in a world where celebrity events can sometimes feel distant from the everyday challenges of real people. In this context, Clarkson's performance was such a powerful contrast. She utilized her platform not to center herself, but rather to emphasize the courage and heroism of others, despite the fact that she was certainly struggling with her own personal sadness. Clarkson and her audience were reminded by the bus drivers, whose voices were filled with emotion, of the decency and resilience that still exists, even in the aftermath of a catastrophe. In the aftermath of such a devastating incident, the seemingly insignificant act of transporting children back to their homes became a symbol of hope and an opportunity for the community to heal together. The fact that Clarkson was able to call attention to this heroic moment, despite the fact that she was in pain herself, was a testament to the character she possessed. Clarkson's decision to center the flood survivors and their assistants served as a reminder that in times of difficulty, we can all find strength in one another. This is despite the fact that the grief that comes with the loss of a loved one is unquestionably one of the most difficult emotional situations that one can go through. Gratitude in the community. The influence of Clarkson. The moments that are packed with genuine emotion, silent empathy, and an irrefutable feeling of humanity are the ones that truly define Clarkson. Although she has always been known for her musical brilliance and her hosting skills, it is precisely moments like these that truly define her. Clarkson made her return to the screen not just a moment of personal introspection, but also a call to celebrate the unsung heroes that are all around us. She did this by paying tribute to the people who fought against the floods in Texas and by connecting with the audience via tears that they shared. By doing so, Clarkson made it possible for her audience to connect not just with her tale, but also with the experiences of individuals who, without any fanfare or acclaim, gave their all to assist those who were in need. Even when her own heart is heavy, it is apparent that Clarkson will continue to utilize her platform to recognize and bring up people who truly deserve the attention. This is something that is clear to see as the season unfolds. Remarks to conclude. Monday's episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show was more than just a return. It was a reflection of Clarkson's ability to find fortitude in the most terrible of circumstances. Clarkson's resilience was on full display in this episode. A moment that was both emotionally charged and unforgettable was created as she paid tribute to the individuals who had fought for their lives during the floods that occurred in Texas. In the midst of a crisis, it is the individuals who stand up, frequently without making a sound, that become the actual stars. Clarkson, who has always been the host with the most empathy, brought this to our attention.